Hey guys, today this video is to anyone who's on this journey to finding themselves, to knowing themselves, who's struggling, who's in the grips of the battle between ego and the self, trying to really understand how to get from A to B, but realizing it's not A to B, it's A to B to C to D, back to C, back to D, and then, on you go. There really is no final destination with knowing the self. But there are levels, you could say, where there's sort of like a video game where after you get to a certain level, a certain point, you save at that point. You can't go back down, and you're just at that point now, and now you have to work your way up to the next plateau, to the next level, solid ground. But understand, ascension is just this upward spiral. But because it's a spiral, things come and go, and then they come back and they come around, and every time you keep going up and you have to keep looking at the same shit over and over, it seems like, but you keep getting higher perspective. And even though clarity might not be there for you all the time, know that confusion is a huge part of this journey. We have to get confused in order to get clarity, And I just want you to know that when you commit to this, there will be dark times. There will be pain. There will be a struggle to see the light, as the light just went behind a cloud. But it's always there. It's who you are. You're this perfect balance of light and dark. You're beyond light and dark, really. But if you're on this journey to knowing the self and to serving others, then you could say you're trying to find your light and then balance them. Because the darkness really is just all that we're unconscious to within ourselves. That's all it is. And there's nothing bad about it. It's just stuff we don't know about yet, or we don't understand yet, But we'll get there. We'll get there slowly. And sometimes lately, it seems a lot faster. Things are accelerating. Things are changing faster than ever before. And it could be scary, and there could be a lot of anger, because I know a lot of us see our potential, and we see this bright future, and we see where we're going. But there's so much like frustration because the mind and the body take a long time, it seems, to catch up. Like, just get with the program, get on track, synchronize, harmonize, synergize, balance between this divine part of ourselves and the human part. But ultimately, when we get to a certain point, we realize that all of it's divine, and it's all in this perfect balance and perfect game that we're playing. We're just still trying to figure out the rules, and we're trying to figure out how we fit into it, and that's okay. It's all part of it. But I really want to talk about the ego, because the ego it's so demonized. We've made this ego into something that's big and bad, and we're constantly butting up against it and fighting it. But we got to realize the ego itself isn't bad. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a part of being human and having a mind and having beliefs about how reality works and who we are and the universe and how we fit into all of it. And the sooner we can come to terms with the ego and realize the ego was born the moment this body was born, the moment this mind was born. And as we grew up, the ego expanded. It's really what was growing up, is the ego. Because the eternal self is already perfect, complete, whole. Your true nature is wholeness, perfect wholeness, completeness. You already are that. But you're also simultaneously having this human experience, which is temporary. And the ego is temporary. But the ego is also capable of expanding. And that's really what's growing up as we evolve. And so, your ego might grow only to like 5 years old. And then it becomes this petulant, angry, tantrum throwing thing. And as we start to rise up, it resists, and we have to teach it. And the only thing that teaches the ego to expand is love and wisdom. That's it. That's the only thing. Those are the only things. Loving wisdom, really. It's one thing. It's always one thing, because wisdom is love. And love is wisdom. And these truths will speak to your heart. You'll feel it. You'll know it when you feel it, And again, it takes time for that maturing process of the ego, of the mind, and the body to some degree. But it's like a lot of us, I feel like a lot of you who might be watching this are in like that puberty of the ego, where it's and I feel like I still feel this sometimes too myself, but it's like this so much rage and frustration. Like, I want to be there. I can see it. I know what's there for me. I felt it. I know it. And yet, for some reason, the universe is not making it happen yet. It's not there. Why isn't it happening yet? I can see it. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can smell it. And yet, it's not time yet. Because everything does happen, as much as we all hate to hear this, everything does happen in perfect timing, divine timing. There is a time for this struggle, and there is a time for peace. There is a time for growth and a time for rest. There's a time for all of it, for everything. There's a time for being angry. There's a time for being frustrated. There's a time for feeling like the world is out to get you. There's a time for feeling at ease with everything. And so if you're at that time where it feels like everything is not working yet that you want it to, there's a time for that. And just know that you're on this upward spiral. Pretty soon it's going to come around and things are going to work out. But things will work out with flow. It's not the way it used to be. There's not this rush. There's not this urgency. You don't have to produce or achieve or any of that. You just got to listen. Humble yourself. Kill your pride. Seriously, just pride does not serve you right now. I know that, there's a part of us that wants to be proud of who we are and the journey we're on and stuff, and that's fine. But that ego, that pride that wants to be further, that wants to do stuff, that wants to achieve, you need to rest. It takes time. When you are learning this stuff and you're on this journey, it takes time for the body. The body takes in all of this information, all of these light codes we're getting, all of these activations, everything. It's all coming through, and it takes time for the body to integrate, for the mind to integrate. And so we would be best served during these times, and I wish someone would have told me a while back, just breathe, let yourself rest. Rest is when that integration happens. Rest is when everything can heal and harmonize. If we just keep feeding something that needs to rest, it'll grow angry, it'll grow irritated, it'll grow restless, it'll grow exhausted. And then we'll make mountains out of molehills and demonize people and get mad at ourselves and get mad at the ego and all this stuff. And the ego's just trying to learn, just trying to expand, and sometimes, there are demons, and they get to us, and they can get in through the ego. The weakness is always in the ego. But we're still in control. We can protect ourselves throughout this process. So I want to share with you an easy technique that you could do anywhere, anytime, out loud, in your head, doesn't matter, just to protect yourself, just to silence all the negative things around you, and know that everything that you're dealing with, everything that's going on in your mind, is just you and just your process, your moment in your journey. And so I like to call in the Archangels to help. So I'll go ahead and just run through how that looks right here. And you can listen to this, and you could do it yourself, practice it yourself anytime. So just take a couple breaths. And now we're going to create sacred space. So I call upon the Archangels, the 4 Archangels of the horizontal plane. In the east, it's Raphael, whose symbol is a caduceus, and whose energy is emerald green fire. And as you visualize those things, you call the angel towards you. In the south is Archangel Michael, whose symbol is the broadsword, and whose energy is electric blue fire. Gabriel of the west, whose symbol is a silver chalice, and whose energy is diamond white fire. And finally, Uriel in the north, whose symbol is a golden 5-star pentacle, and whose energy is ruby red fire. I ask that these 4 archangels bring platinum silver light around my sacred energy field and shield me from anything negative, any negative interference, any negative astral planes or beings. And take a breath to seal this in. Thank you. And now, call upon Archangel Metatron of the above space, whose symbol is a golden infinity sign. Please bring down the Christ consciousness grid from the grand central sun. Bring it down through my soul star chakra, down into my crown, third eye, throat, high heart, and anchored in my heart. And now, we call upon Archangel Sandalphon of the below space, whose symbol is a red rose. Please bring up the 5D crystalline grid of the earth. Bring it up to my earth star chakra, root, sacral, solar plexus, and anchored in my heart. Take a deep breath to anchor this all in. Thank you, thank you, Thank you. And so it is. And now you can rest assured that you are protected from any negative interference or beings or any of that. Rest in your space. Rest in your energy. Know that you're on this journey and there's no time limit, and things will happen. They will, and they're happening faster than ever before. But we still need to be patient. We still have to cultivate patience and learn to flow, because that's where it is. That's the higher self, is this ease, this flow. We're not forcing. We're not wishing things were different. We're not wishing to be somewhere else. We're not urgent. We're not stressed. We're not overwhelmed. We're peaceful. We're calm. And through this peaceful energy that we exude in our presence, we magnetize and bring what's for us to us. But it has to be through this new way of being. We can't be the old way. We can't try and force things. We can't produce and achieve and check things off our list to try and get it to happen. Take action towards what you want, but if you get to a natural stopping point, or if things aren't working out, don't take it personally. Just know it's not quite time yet. Shift your focus to something else, and maybe, just maybe, rest a little bit. You've done a good fucking job. You've done a really, really fucking good job getting here, because this is not easy. It's just not easy. But it does get easier as you go. So, much love to you all. Much light and dark. I mean, it's all good. We're all one. It's all everything. Everything is everything and nothing at the same time, right? It's pretty fucking cool. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.